Hello, everyone. We are Team Health Sync, and we are now known as LiveAD. So, recovery doesn't happen in the clinic. It happens in the days, weeks, and months between the visits. LiveAid is built to personalize and support that journey through real-time analytics and data. We started with a simple but alarming insight. 50% of patients forget their treatment plan after leaving the clinic, and 25% don't adhere to it at all. Not because they don't care, but because recovery is chaotic. It's confusing and it is hard to track. Every missed instruction, forgotten symptom, or skipped medication creates a lot of friction. But the bigger issue is visibility. Clinicians simply don't know what happens between the visits. There is no continuous data that comes in, but only the fragmented memory between and when those visits happen. Now, our user research revealed a consistent and painful theme across the ecosystem. Dr. Kareem, a neurologist, told us that patients forget their symptoms between the visits, and they need a real time way of tracking and logging those things so that the doctor can adjust their care immediately whenever it's needed. Polina, recovering from post injury, said she wanted to share how she felt with her doctor at every point, but it only happened when she went for that visit and she had to completely rely on her memory about a specific day or a specific symptom or a specific pain. And Linda, a physician assistant, said if there was a way to record that daily insight, it will help her connect both the doctor and the patient more effectively in a more better manner. And across patients and providers, everyone pointed to the same unmet need, which is the reliable recovery insights between those visits. All three users, a doctor, a patient, and a PA, are essentially asking for the same thing: a continuous loop of recovery data that helps detect issues early and help improve outcomes. This becomes the foundation of LiveAid. We distilled these needs into a simple model and we created LiveAid with that model, which is to detect issues early, prevent complications, and improve the recovery journey as a whole. We model a model driven by the real life data and real data specifically for that analytics. And this is where we come in. We have 24 plus features, and these are divided into three different parts. First comes the patient side, where they are supported by daily check ins, check in forms, and a recovery timeline. Not just that, they are supported by an AI assistant that helps them answer questions about anything and everything they need. Now, on the provider side, it's more in detail, keeping track of all their patients, understanding which patient is at risk and where they need to support specifically through the AI insights, recording sessions to understand what medications they set, setting those medications, and also creating a plan, end-to-end, complete package for a patient. And lastly, the system itself is smart. We have AI models and LLMs in the background that understand these conversations happening, pick important things, and give you smart alerts, both on the provider side and also on the patient side. Recommendations on what could be done, what's the next step is, and also secure messaging and auto-generated reports of these visits and any discussions between a patient and a doctor. Let's look at how Life Aid comes to life.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Let's start with how you've been feeling since your last visit. What symptoms are bothering you the most this week?
Honestly, Doc, the pain in my neck has been flaring up again, especially in the evenings. I've also been waking up really stiff, going to practice really stiff, and the headaches are getting crazy, maybe 4 or 5 times this week.
Yeah, I understand. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the neck pain when it's at its worst?
Probably an 8, maybe a 9 when I'm at basketball practice.
Okay, based on what you're describing, I would adjust your medication. I'm prescribing you naproxen 500 milligrams twice a day to help with both the neck inflammation and the headaches.
Okay. Do I take it with food or anything?
Yes, take it with food to avoid stomach irritation. And here's something actionable for you. For next week, I want you to track when the headaches happen and what you were doing right before this started. This will help us understand if posture or activity is triggering them.
Got it. I can start doing that. Should I also log the stiffness in the morning before practice?
Yes, absolutely. Log the stiffness each morning on a 1 to 10 scale, and LiveAD will automatically summarize it for me before our next appointment.
Perfect. That makes it easier.
Great, yeah. We'll review all the recorded symptoms and trends next week. All of the lab sessions and appointments are going to be synchronized in LiveAD. And if the headaches get worse or the pain reaches a 9 or a 10, message me through the app.
So, once a user, either the healthcare provider or the patient, comes to LiveAid, they can see this landing page and they can understand why we do what we do and what we stand for. So, they can choose to create an account. I already have an account, so I'm just gonna sign in. And once I sign in, for the demo purposes, we have created two different roles in two different sides, but it would look completely different because a patient side would have their own different sort of admin, and the healthcare provider will be the admin for the patient. So the patient can only join when the healthcare provider invites them. Let's look at the healthcare provider first. So they will be greeted by the dashboard. This is an overview of their entire practice, all the patients, and understanding how these different things are taken. Now, all this data from for the dashboard is taken from both the structured and unstructured data from the conversations happening. And what we do is we translate that, we put them into numbers. So as you see, Michael Chen here is a high risk patient. They have a score of 78. All these KPIs are taken from our conversations with different patients and also healthcare providers, specifically neurologists. They also have a patient directory where they can see a collapse view of all their patients. Now, let's look at the directory in detail. They can choose to have a grid view or a table view. They can also search people by name, so there's nobody by N. If I were to search James, it will show up. So now, let's say I want to understand, and also have um, sort filters. Um, Now, let's look at James. So if I click on one patient as a doctor, I can see their entire history, their entire current and other data that we have, specifically how they are taking their medications, their recent activity timeline, and so on. This depends on the patient input as well, that we will see in a bit. That's the overview. They can see the specific insights. Now, these insights are all powered by our AI system. These are all AI-based insights and flags that the AI thinks is important. And these insights can then be about moods, their symptoms, their medications, what based on why they're thinking, what risks they have, and their engagement. Let's look at medications as a whole. This specifically looks at a patient's medications in general. Here you have the option to add the medication as well. And once you do that, you can add an example, Tylenol, for example, and then generic name and so on. You can fill all this information and do add medication. It won't let me add because I haven't filled in the information, but that is how a uh, doctor can prescribe and add the information of the medication for a specific patient on their account. This will reflect on James's account on that end, that we will look at in a second. There's also other things you can do. So this is sort of a quick action bar. Now let's look at the check-ins, right? the check-ins that they have done. The trend has been stable for this individual. There's no side effects right now, right? There's reminders on what you can do. So this reminder, we'll look into it in a second, but if I want to send a reminder, I can click on it and it will send a call to the patient as like, hey, just reminding you that you have to take this medication or you have to do this check-in and so on. And this call queue shows what's up. And you can schedule more calls with the patient. You can schedule call them for future as well. Now, let's look at the AI insights. So this is an AI insight in general. Now we are coming out of a specific patient. This is generally, and it will shows all the different things about different patients and other things based on the conversations with everybody. It will show the general trend of how the patients are receiving some type of feedback, some type of medication, and things of that nature medications. So, although there is specific patient medication, this is also the entire overview of the medication. Now, the motivation behind this was to understand for the doctor as well is what type of things am I prescribing? Are they useful or not? And that was one of the needs that the neurologist told us is important to understand as a doctor on the other side. We can also have the appointments that they can make. Here, we'll look at into it in a second, but when we start the session, we can record a conversation and it will automatically transcribe it. And once you have the transcription, then the AI insights will work their magic and they'll pick out information, turn that unstructured data of a conversation into structured data, and then sort of populate, in a sense, this dashboard and also every specific patient's AI insights here. So that's the doctor side. Let me switch the role. This is just for demo purposes. We have made it easy for us to switch. Let's look at the patient side, how that works. For a patient, we have made it a little bit more friendly because doctors are knowledgeable. They know what to do. They know what to click, where to go immediately. But a patient might not know that because patients vary in ages as well. So we want to cater to everybody and we have made it more friendly for them. The first thing they can see is also their dashboard, and these are all quick actions. So I can go to my medication specifically, I can go to my appointments, I can look at everything in general, I can look at my notifications, and this is one of the most important parts that we'll see in a moment. But let's say I want to do my daily check-in as a patient, right? So when I do the daily check-in, I can fill this form out. And this form can be filled out in two ways. I'm showing you the manual way, but we'll also see a voice module way from our team members in a second. So let's say today I'm checking in. I'm feeling great today, and my energy levels are very high. My sleep quality was also very high. Anxiety levels are on the low, and I ate a good amount of food, and social engagement not so much, but it was good. This will be eventually supported by actual sort of psychology-based questions that people ask, and there are different templates of this. So a person who has suffered a concussion will have a different question set than a person who's recovering from a hand injury and things of that nature. And then I can share anything I want. Um, I love doing the demo for Hack with Chicago, right? This doesn't make sense in this regard, but just for 4 cents. And also, I have a headache. Let me just add that. So when I complete this check-in, we'll say, okay, I'll show you the insights and stuff. And let's look at this is from the trend. It says go talk to your doctor, specifically Dr. Chen, to discuss the progress. Now, that was daily check-in. We'll go to the AI assistants in a moment, but these are the medications, and the medications are specific, right? It will tell me when I need to refill based on how much I'm using it. And you can also ask the doctor about it directly, about your medications. I also have the options to book appointments and also see my upcoming appointments and prepare for them. If there is a virtual meeting, you can join here. Virtual consultation, you can join here as well. This is not functional yet, but we intend to work upon this as well. We can also see past appointments. And remember, this is recorded conversations. So This information is taken from the AI insights, and the doctor has said, yes, this reflects our conversation. So this is what it is, and you can choose to export it and have that data for later. Then comes claims. So insurance claims, if you need a surgery, this is for both the patient and the user side. Here you can put a request for your doctor and they can try to push it for your insurance company. Like, hey, this patient broke their hand, they did need the surgery, and they should be covered under your insurance of some kind. So that's the entire application. Let's look into it a little bit more detail based on scenarios now.
How,
This is LiveAD calling on behalf of Dr. Arslan Kamchibikov. We noticed you missed today's check-in. I'll ask you a few quick questions to help us track your recovery. Let's
Oh.
begin.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. I'll keep this quick. First question, how would you rate your overall energy level today? Would you say it's high, medium, or low?
I would say it's like medium-ish. My neck pain's still here, but I had to get through basketball practice. You know, it's just what it is.
Got it, medium energy level. Thank you for sharing, Michael. That does sound challenging, especially managing neck pain during practice. Speaking of that, are you experiencing any new or worsening physical pain today, aside from the neck pain? For example, headaches, muscle aches, or joint pain?
I mean, other from the usual basketball aches, I think I have a really bad basketball neck pain. Whenever I like shoot a hoop, my neck like fires up so bad.
I understand, Michael. That sounds really uncomfortable, especially with it flaring up during basketball. I'll make sure your doctor is alerted about the worsening neck pain so they can review it thoroughly. Next question, did you experience any fever or chills in the last 24 hours?
No, not fevers, just neck pain.
Thank you for confirming, Michael.
Of course. Thank you for checking in, and I'm sorry I forgot. Tell doctor I'm sorry for not filling out the form today. Thanks for calling.
You're very kind, Michael. No need to apologize. That's what I'm here for. Thank you for your honesty in answering the questions. I've logged your answers, and since you've mentioned worsening neck pain today, I'll notify Dr. Arslan Kamchibakov right away so they can review your symptoms. If anything gets worse, please don't hesitate to contact your care team. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll check in with you again tomorrow.
Appointment with Michael in a couple of days, so let's just see how he's doing. Okay, so Michael has some neck pain and headaches, serious illness, chronic disorder, and in his daily check-ins, Michael had significant neck pain when playing basketball. He has some allergy, so he's dealing with some neck pain. Okay. What did I prescribe to him? Okay, I prescribed naproxen, Tylenol, omega-3, ashwagandha. Okay. And what was Michael doing to recover? Okay, tracking symptoms through daily check-ins, medications, daily health check-ins, and avoiding allergens. Okay, amazing. I'm now prepared for my appointment, and everything is synchronized in LiveAD.
This team came together around one simple belief. No patient should ever feel lost in their own recovery. Every feature we built out of those 25, every decision we made came directly from the voices of our users. Doctors like Kareem, patients like Polina, and assistants like Linda. We listened to them and we built LiveAid to close the gap they experience every single day. We're here to deliver the care continuity they deserve. Thank you so much for your time and listening through this presentation. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the feedback. Thank you once again.